What is up, guys? Talking with Tonka episode, 28. 28. I made it to 28 episodes. I can't believe it.
Dulce ocho?
Okay.
Isn't that what that?
See,
Yeah, we have one Spanish-speaking person.
Well, hold on. Let's not take it that far.
Okay. Semi. I don't know. It doesn't matter. Episode 28, Talking with Tonka. We're live here at Wicked Wolf with Dom and Jesse as my co-hosts. Welcome back, fellas.
what's up?
We got Mr. Q102 in the building. Buster, what up?
Yep. What's going on, guys?
How you doing?
How you doing?
So this is cool. I did a live podcast here before. So I love hearing like the background noise, people cheering for the Phils. Phils are up right now, 5-0 going to the bottom of the ninth. Oh, we got Strom on there. Does anybody follow like the Phillies on Twitter or anything?
Oh, no. Yeah.
Do you see what Matt Strom? He aired out 2 guys on Twitter.
Oh, yeah, dude.
Yeah.
It's some drama.
Yeah, they're like, Matt Strom eats ass or something like that. Or sucks ass. He puts eat ass asterisks. You know what I mean? So it's funny when you see players that they're not afraid to like just kind of air people out.
Yeah. But that's the Phillies.
Yeah, so he got a lot of credit from Phillies guys.
It's funny because I feel like nowadays being like a celebrity is so much more ingrained with like the entertainment industry, and I think sports are part of that entertainment industry, where it's like so many people are like, once you start getting into that drama world, your name just starts skyrocketing.
Yeah.
And it helps your career.
So you think social media helped sports bleed into the mainstream?
Dog, 1,000%.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I could see that.
Absolutely.
People who wouldn't be interested in it are now interested in like the drama, and then they get into the teams.
Yup. And then they get to know the person more than just the player.
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah, so are you guys into sports?
No, not really.
No, not really.
We just do music, man.
I only started getting into sports when I moved to Philly, so by proxy, like my wife's family, I got into the Eagles, and they won the Super Bowl that year.
Oh, snap!
And then Phillies did really well that year, so I'm kind of like a lucky charm for Philly. I gotta say.
I love you. I know Buster's really into sports.
Self-proclaimed.
Yeah.
No, I'm big into sports. I'm a junkie.
Okay.
But it wasn't always that way because I grew up in Detroit, and in Detroit we basically only had hockey from my childhood because the Lions sucked, the Pistons sucked, the Tigers sucked.
They still suck, I think, right?
They've all had their moments in the sun, but Red Wings was the only thing we sort of had. So it was tough for me to even get into football because it was like the Lions always lost.
But if you like Tim Allen, I guess you would like the Lions.
Hell yeah, Tim Allen was the man. Till we found out he was a narc.
He's a narc?
Yeah, you didn't know that story?
No.
So do you guys know about Tim Allen?
No, but he's friends with 6ix9ine, so it makes sense,
Really?
No, I made that up. They sound like they roll together.
Yeah. Well, Tim Allen.
Like I made that up.
Tim Allen got busted selling coke at Western Michigan University, and when he got busted, he sold out his boys. He told.
Ooh.
Yeah,
but you know what though? Like, imagine being in that situation, right? Like, we're all like, "Oh, you're such a rat," and blah blah blah. But it's like when you're sitting at that table and they're giving you the ultimatum of like, either you sit in here for the rest of your life, or you can rat your friends out and be free in a couple of years. You're like, "Oh my god, like my life could be over."
You hear that, everybody? Don't tell him.
Yeah.
Oh no,
Guys, I forgot to hit record on the cameras. Babe, can you hit that record button?
No, but I will 100% not rap. But like, it's just
say that
like,
again for the camera, Dom, so everybody
Yeah,
knows you're a rat.
say it right into that camera that you're a narc.
My
You're a
God.
narc.
I will never be a narc.
But yeah, so apparently the guys he told on, they were in prison for a long time. And
Damn.
while they did this whole documentary where they were in prison watching him on like Home Improvement. Like, watching him be a baller in the 90s. Dude. And remember in the 90s, he was out here getting DUIs and shit.
Yeah.
He didn't give a fuck.
Yeah,
he got
Home
busted
Improvement was the best thing to happen to him.
He got busted with a ton of coke too, didn't he?
Yeah. So, shout out to Tim Allen.
Yeah, Tim. I didn't know that
Tim
story.
Allen.
Shout out Tim Allen.
You didn't know that?
Shout out Tim Allen.
If you didn't know that, it's a Talking with Tonka exclusive. In case you didn't know that, guys. Episode 28. So, me and Buster, before you guys came over, he was talking about how he's going to get slaughtered in fantasy football. So you guys obviously can't attribute that much to that conversation, but you weren't into sports at all as kids or anything?
I loved playing sports.
Yeah.
And like I grew up in the Northeast too. So like snowboarding, I wanted to go pro.
I remember you told us on
like
on your
snowboarding,
episode.
like winter sports were like always my thing. Skating was my thing. I grew up in skate culture, and that actually introduced me to music. was skate
yeah.
and snowboard culture.
So Lil Wayne's your guy.
Tribe Called Quest,
Okay.
even older, older
yeah.
school.
I
You
love
think
Tribe.
snowboarding, going pro snowboarding, how long is that window of a career?
That's
Yeah.
the thing. is,
Like you're in there for
I-
2 years for the Olympics, and then
Yeah, and then you die. So many people get so messed up from that sport.
Yep.
I mean, but
Yeah.
any sport too, right? Like look at all these football players now, and as they get older, they're forgetting everything. They're having trouble with their bodies. This really you pay a price for anything you go into. Like any part of fame or big money or anything like that on a high level always comes with consequences.
Always.
Nothing is free.
What about you? Were you in any winter sports or?
not win. Well, yeah, we played football, but I wasn't any good. You know what's funny?
You played because your friends played?
Yeah, pretty much. No, I played because my parents wanted me out of the house.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Back then they wanted you at your house.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
did. They wanted
Facts.
you out the house, and
Yeah.
so it would be football, baseball, karate. I played basketball. I played everything. I wasn't really good at anything.
Yeah.
I found out. I was talking to Connor Barwin the other day. We were interviewing him on some charity thing he's doing. Former Eagles player, but now he's in the office. And I was talking to him, and I was like, "Wait a minute! You grew up in Hazel Park, Michigan, and we're the same age." I go, "Did you play for the Hazel Park Raiders?" And he was like, "Hell yeah." I was like, "I played for the Royal Oak Chargers." He's like, "Dude, we both sucked.
You have something in common with the NFL player.
We both sucked."
Damn.
It's awesome.
But he went and you didn't.
Hey, look at that.
But that
Shout
was
out
like that.
Connor Barwin.
So that was the thing when I was a kid is like my dad only let us play sports that he could coach us. So I didn't play soccer because he didn't play soccer. So we always played baseball, football, and he only let us play basketball because my friend's mom would drive us.
Oh yeah,
He didn't
That was
wanna
always-
coach that.
Dude, that was always a big plus. If your friends' parents were on the pickup, your parents were more likely to let you go do it.
Yeah, so I was big in BMX when I was a kid. Yeah, like BMX racing and jumping ramps and stuff. Like the drummer from the Star on my bike, Tommy G, he was my next door neighbor. So his parents used to have a blue Dodge Voyager and like pile all of our bikes in the back and take us racing. My parents were like, "Oh, go ahead, have
That's
fun,
the best
Hell
feeling.
yeah.
dude." But
Those were always Hey, were those the parents that let you drink?
no, my parents were. I was the friend with the pool. I had the big backyard we could play football in and stuff. So like
Oh,
my
man.
parents were the ones that would let you stay up late, let you
Yeah.
drink if you wanted, eat whatever
Yeah.
you
Oh,
want.
you were the cool kid.
Yeah,
Oh,
the cool kid
yeah.
by default because I had all the toys. I had the quads, I had the
Yeah,
the
yeah.
extra bikes,
That's
the
fine.
basketball court out front that
Damn,
turned into
dude.
a hockey court in the winter time.
Damn, bro.
So your
I
family
was the
just
only one with
active.
goalie pads too.
This
So
guy
I was-
grew up in Rob Deerdeck's
Right.
family.
Yo, what the fuck?
Facts.
It was literally I got a Wayne Gretzky. That makes zero sense because Wayne Gretzky was a center or a winger, but he came out with goalie equipment, and I was like, my parents just got it for me because it was hockey related.
Why did he have goalie?
I don't. He had goalie equipment. I guess because he scored on so many, he knew how to improve it.
Phil's won, by the way. Phil's won.
Phil's won. Let's go 5-1.
Let's go,
I love
Philly.
that. 42-20 at Petco Park since 2004.
Beautiful.
God, 12 hits, 5 runs. I don't like that at all.
Needed
That's
it
terrible.
after yesterday, though.
Yeah. So that's the one problem by having the TV on. You're like, ooh.
I know,
Yeah,
right?
yo, like squirrel.
I got a question, Buster. So you
Yeah.
grew up in Detroit, right?
Yeah.
I've been asked this question from somebody. I can disclose who it is, but first I got to ask the question. What's your relationship with Eminem's brother?
I know who disclosed this information.
So Eminem's brother, we used to know him. He used to run around like all the club gigs back in the day. And I know who you're talking to is Nugget.
Yeah, Nougat.
So me, Nugget, our boy Chunky, Nick, we used to run around and do like club gigs all the time. We
Yeah.
did like 6 club nights a week. It would be like different
Damn.
bars and whatever. And one of them, the Thursday night, was in Canada because the distance from Detroit to Canada is the distance from Philly to Camden.
Damn,
Only
dude.
the difference is there's
Wait,
customs
really?
in between. Yeah, but we would go every Thursday night. We would be on the air talking about like it's 19 and up to drink. Come to Canada.
Wait, is that the limo ride he was talking about in
Yeah.
in our episodes?
Dude.
That's sick, dude.
Yeah, that limo shit would get nutty. But yeah, so M's little brother would show up to all of that, so he would come to a lot of those gigs, and he had he had his older brother's money, his older brother's security's car that he was driving to the bar and all that. And he would get in big, like I was kind of like like one of the under guys. I wasn't the guy, right?
Okay.
Our boy Evan was the guy, so he was always the one getting the bag at these club gigs, and we were kind of like his guys, right?
Right.
Damn.
So we were the benefactor to the big shot fest that would happen between Eminem's little brother and our boy Evan, because both of them wanted to like outball each other in the shots. So it'd be like, all right, well, I'm buying the next round. Well, I'm buying the next round. And me and Nick and Nugget were like, cool.
Buy whatever you want.
right.
Let's get it.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
this is a question I actually want to know about you is why radio? Like how'd you get into radio and why?
It was it's weird because it was a little accidental, but it wasn't, because like I was a student of the game. When I was a kid, I used to get in a lot of trouble, and when I was like in middle school, I got grounded from everything in life, and it was like I was on the pandemic lockdown before the pandemic lockdown.
Oh,
I
snap.
got locked down, right?
Damn.
To where I wasn't allowed to leave but school. I wasn't allowed to do shit because I was like whatever. So within that, all I had was my homework and a radio. And so I would listen every night. I would listen to the countdowns. I would listen to some of the like talk shows that would go on, and whether it was like R&B, pop, alternative, classic rock, all these different formats in Detroit. They had all these legendary radio stations and these night shows that I would listen to, and I'd like sort of fell in love with all their different types of styles. So I would listen to the radio and sort of absorb that game.
Right.
Later on, I wanted to make movies. I wanted to be a director. I was a big film buff. When I was like 15, 16, when I was 16, I dropped out of school. And I told my mom that all I wanted to do was like make movies, and like of course like her and my family are like, okay, you're fucked up. And
Thanks for the support, Mom.
well, no, but my mom was.
She was supportive?
She was a huge supporter.
Nice,
My
nice.
mom, this is the craziest shit. So my mom pushed me up to this broadcasting school because she knew it would be like an opportunity for me to go like do broadcasting, do a show, get into the entertainment industry. I looked at it as a poor man's film school because they would teach you a lot of video stuff.
Okay.
And I was like, all right, well, at least I can take some of this knowledge and make like an independent Kevin Smith movie or something like that.
Nice.
So I went to the school, and while I was doing it, they would have me do a radio program too, and I fell in love with all of that. Then I got an internship at a radio station where part of my job was to go around with the night guy and go to these like bar gigs and go to the shit he was at, and we would have fun. Part of my job was to go like, hey, why don't you go out there, give these girls these T-shirts and get them to come and talk and be in the radio and whatever. Okay, cool.
Say less.
I'm going to go do that. I'm 18 years old. Say less. And then at the end of the night, hey, by the way, I need you to go to the owner's office and go grab my money. And I'm like, all right. So I go to the office, I grab the money, and I'm holding a knot of money. I'm somebody that didn't graduate high school and going, wait a minute. I'm connecting these dots. I'm going to figure this out. So eventually I was like, I fell in love with the hustle of that and wanting that job. At the same time, like, I got an internship, and it started to roll into a part-time job that started to roll into a full-time job, and then...
Damn, here we are.
Yeah, and like, but going back to all that like film school shit, I feel like it's cool because today's game is so digital and so visual that a lot of the stuff that I learned early in the game helped me when getting off the ground to be ahead of a lot of the radio guys, because I was a little bit more digital friendly, because I wanted to make movies, so I wanted to make social media videos, so I wanted to make fucking fun shit.
Yeah. Damn. So that's what, it's funny. Like I did digital media production at the Art Institute of Philadelphia. So
Okay.
a lot of the stuff I learned is like obsolete now. Besides like, Final Cut Pro hasn't updated that much where it's like totally,
Right.
I'm going to be lost. Like Premieres, it's all those things, I just need to catch up basically.
Right.
But like the technology, like the cameras, like you put a video camera in front of me now, like with all like the different, attachments and all this other stuff, I'm gonna be lost in the sauce. But I'm pretty sure I'll be able to pick it up. But
Yeah.
the way,
well, it's the basics, right?
Yeah.
So it's like that's where you learn to comprehend your mark-ins and mark-outs and
Yeah.
just the basics of getting through the
like
conversation.
how I make the podcast sound the way it does is because I have a little bit of audio production background, right? But no, when I had Nugget on and he let me record at iHeart, that was the best sounding episode I've ever had.
Different process.
Yeah, dude, it's wild. And I'm usually like a little pile, mixer I got off Amazon. Everything you see here is from Amazon.
That's so funny. Just hearing even all of us right here, where we wanted to start, like snowboarding, media, making movies, and seeing where we're at now.
Yeah.
How about that?
Yeah.
That's pretty wild.
So now that you described all that, do you think you were ever going to be a program director at a major radio station?
No, I always kind of looked at. Well, I shouldn't say no because, when I was 26, I kind of got kicked into the game because the guy who was the program director, he left for another gig. Then they brought another guy in. He didn't work out. It was 2 weeks.
Damn.
And all of a sudden, it was a big disaster. So the place was a shitstorm.
And you were like, hello.
Yeah, and I was kind of the only one kind of already holding it together through the storm. So they were like, hey, why don't you do it? And I was like, all right, fuck it. So I guess, I guess I kind of sort of saw that. But really, the only reason why I even got on the other end of being able to be in that position in the first place, to be the one holding things together, was because I only wanted to train myself enough to be at a management level enough to where I didn't have a direct boss.
Okay.
I just wanted
I always had that problem with a job. It's the boss thing.
Dude.
So
being told what to do,
dude, it sucks.
It fucking sucks.
I was I was working in IT at a school for 2.5 years. I was there. The second year I was there, they made me a manager. I got to hire 2 people. Of course, I hired 2 of my homies. So it was hanging out with my friends. But I was the boss finally, and I didn't have to answer to anyone until budget time, and then I had to answer to somebody, which was phenomenal. I switched jobs. I went to a regular employee role, and I was like, this sucks. I was like, get me out of here.
Yeah, dude. I mean, look, you're always going to have someone over you.
Yeah.
I mean,
I have a boss now. She's right there.
Yeah, I was going to say, you guys are pretty freelance out here in the game, so maybe it's a little different, but you're always going to have someone overseeing something.
Yeah.
But as long as you can get it to where you're more comfortable in a position, and as long as you can get to a point where you actually respect the people that are above you.
It's
all right,
sure.
well then, hey, look, they're calling the shots, but I kind of get why they do shit.
Yeah.
Whereas, if it's just some fucking jerk off.
And that's the thing for us. We didn't really find bosses. We found mentors.
Yeah, yep.
So we found people above us, but they're still guiding us in the right direction, and we trust that they're going to guide us in the right direction too. But it's hard to find that in the corporate world. It's hard to find that outside of a creative space because most people aren't thinking like that.
Right.
And man, I mean, what in this whole job scene that you've done, what's the one thing that really gives you the passion and the energy and the drive and the gas every day to do what you do?
There's a few levels of it. I mean, look, the purest answer there is the fact that I know that I've been a catalyst and helped cultivate some of the coolest, biggest things that have actually hit our demographic. It's
crazy.
There's some cool things that I know that I've been a part of that are really, really big today. And you sort of can sit back and go, wow, that's there's some gratification in your career and validation and all those sort of things. And then there's the little bit more superficial, thank you, Chriselle. There's a little bit more superficial answers of fucking getting paid.
Yeah. I guess that's the end goal for everything. It's just getting paid.
I've been in some cool shit. I've seen some cool shit.
You definitely have, yeah.
So
dude, when we saw you in Jingle Ball, we were like, oh my God.
This guy's killing it.
That's so fucking cool,
We've done some wild shit. So
can Tonka be the voice of God at Jingle Ball?
I think right now you have to fight Sean Brace for that title.
I'll fight him. I'll arm wrestle for him.
But to be honest with you, I think you work out more than him. Sorry, Sean.
Sean was actually on my first live episode here.
No way.
Yeah. Sean,
shout out Sean Brace. He's a fucking hardworking motherfucker.
Yeah, dude.
I love that dude.
Yeah, he's the greatest. He's a shore guy too, and I didn't get to link up with him anytime. He was in Avalon once, and then he was in Strathmere. He was supposed to come to Deauville on Sunday. I just forgot to remind him, so he probably forgot.
I saw him one time. We were at I want to say it was Whitebriar or something, one of those. And it was late in the night, so things are fuzzy. And
that must be Sunday night.
I was getting ready to. No, this wasn't this most recent weekend. But
okay.
I was getting ready to I told my girlfriend, I'll be right back. I'm gonna go walk outside for a second. Code, we all know what that means. So I'm going outside, and I'm literally walking, and I get tapped on my shoulder, and I hear, Buster? And I look, and it's Sean Brace, and he looks me head to toe, and he's on the moon, and he goes, "What are you doing here?" I'm like, "Same thing you're doing."
Just having fun.
Yeah. Want to go outside?
So this is actually a good segue because randomly running into people. Have you ever had a famous person that you wanted to meet that you met accidentally?
Ooh. Yeah.
Yeah.
Slim Shady. So that's probably, I'd say Eminem is probably one of the artists. There's a short list of artists that I kind of don't want to have a conversation with because I don't want it to suck. And or
don't meet your heroes.
That is a thing, though.
Yeah.
It is, yeah.
And or I don't know if I'll have enough time to have the conversation that I want to have, so I just don't even want to have one.
So you've obviously had that experience then.
And so M would be the one, or at least he's on the top of the list. And so I was in New York, and I had gotten tipped off that something Eminem related was going to happen. It was do you remember when Eminem and Jay-Z did their show in New York and show in Detroit? It was 2000, I want to say 2010. No. They did a little combo thing. It was when M came back and they had a little deal. Jay-Z was doing let's hear it for New York.
Oh, that time. Yeah.
It was that little era of music. And M was doing promotion for the Marsh Recovery, I think. And he was in New York, and I was working in New York at the time, and the label had hit us up and said, "Hey, there's going to be something M-related that's going down at the Bowery Ballroom tonight. Just, be there at this time."
Damn.
All right.
Say less again.
That's a good hookup.
So we go there, and we're outside, and right as we walk up to the front, it's the end of this Red Bull 3-style competition, and Slaughterhouse was doing a performance at the end. Slaughterhouse! And 3 blacked out Denali's pull up out front, presidential style. His manager, Paul Rosenberg, gets out first, and he's all giant, dude. And then M gets out, who was not giant.
Not giant at all,
yeah. And they get out, and the label guy who was with us was like, "All right, let's go." We get in, we walk in together.
What?
And I'm tripping fucking balls.
Damn.
And I'm like, okay. I'm like, well, I don't want to have to say anything, but if I have to say anything, what am I going to say? But all this is happening so fast. We're walking into Bowery. It's crowded. I would say there's a total of about 8, 9 of us. And we get jammed into this elevator with M. I'm in one corner. He's in another. All 9 of us are in between or whatever. And there was no communication or anything, but the whole time it felt like an eternity because I'm going, I'm in a fucking elevator with Eminem. And we get out, and the label guy brings us over to the bar. We went up the stairs to the top of the level. He brings us over to the bar. We get a drink, and Paul and this other guy, they take M off to this other door. We realize the door brings them over to the stage. We get our drink. We go out to the mezzanine. The guy on the mic, whoever the MC was, he was like, "All right, we got one more guest from the Motor City, Slim Shady." M comes out, does 3 songs, and then gets off stage. We come out. He comes out. We get in the elevator together. We go down. We come out. We go out the ballroom together. He gets in his car, and I'm like, what the fuck?
Damn, dude.
So I'd say that was the most to answer your question accidental meeting of someone. It wasn't set up necessarily. It was weird. It was all right, well, fuck, let's do it.
That's pretty awesome.
Now, on the opposite, did you have any of those moments like we just talked about before? Did you have any of those moments where you met someone you were really, really enthralled with, and it was afterwards you were like, fuck, they're a terrible person. You don't have to obviously name names, but like,
I kind of want to know now. Tom with the great question.
Yeah, talk the shit, Buster. Talk all your shit.
I don't know that I like.
I only average 100 listeners a week.
or even just like
No,
after you were kind of like, oh, I'm bummed.
Well, there's bad interviews. There's just soft
And they can have
interviews
bad days.
that are just they sucked and they just
Yeah.
were. They either were like not in the vibe that day or whatever. And then there's like, holy shit, what was that? And I'd say like that first one is Machine Gun Kelly.
Really?
I can see
He
that
looks like a
happening.
bad interviewer.
Yeah, but like I love him.
Interviewee.
I love him because I've interviewed him probably him and maybe Wiz Khalifa are probably the artists that I've interviewed the most in my career.
Do they remember you?
Yeah, definitely. And Machine Gun Kelly, I've known for long enough in his career to see him come from being the rapper that couldn't get the attention that he wanted to,
Speaking
the
of Slim Shady,
angry dude, yeah, right, to the guy who became this pop phenomenon, the Slim Shady shit, the
this like punk rocker
what's his girl's
now,
name? You know, like
well, Megan Fox.
yeah, Megan Fox.
Yeah.
So it's crazy to see that sort of catapult with him. But the first interview, and like this is on YouTube and shit. The first interview is pretty crazy because halfway through it, he cuts it off and he's like, "Yo, I feel like I can't feel like you're mocking me or not, or I can't tell if you're mocking me or not." And so he thought that I was like making fun of him, how I was talking to him.
What?
And it was a really rough interview that turned into like a weird vibe. After that interview, I went to his show begrudgingly. The label asked me if I'd go to his show, and I was like, he was kind of a dickhead. I don't know if I want to deal with this. I go to the show. He's in his merch stand. At the end of his show, he jumped off the top of TLA and busted a Jack Daniels bottle across his chest.
Oh my
But then
God.
at the end of the concert, he goes to his merch booth, and I'm standing right there, and he like points, and he's like, "I need to talk to you." I'm like,
God.
All right. So at the end of the show, I'm in his green room. He comes in, and he's like, "Dude, I gotta apologize. Like my friends told me I was just being a dick to you, that you were actually being cool, whatever." And he's like, "Listen, next time I come back to Philly, like whatever you need, I'll do for you. Like if it's an interview, if it's a
Mad
show,
respect
whatever."
for that.
I'm like, cool.
That's respect.
So he came by, we did an interview after that, and it was like every time after that, first off, there's always something crazy.
Yeah.
Like there was a time in an interview that the camera got shut off, and that was dramatic. There was a time where halfway through the interview, he had to throw a mic at somebody because he got into a fight with a fan. Every time I saw, there was a time in another interview where his manager Andre hit me up and was like, "Hey, we can't air that because it was before the Eminem beef, but he was talking shit about
Okay.
Eminem." And so we couldn't air. It was like every time I saw him or talked to him, there was
something.
some sort of fucking chaotic.
Damn.
But like over more recent years, he's still a lot, but he's a little less that.
Right.
But you know, he's the fucking man, and
Man.
it's cool to even, despite having that first
Yeah,
moment that you
yeah.
asked me about of like, fuck that guy.
Yeah.
We both were on some fuck that guy shit.
Yeah, yeah.
It's cool to even see what I've seen, you know,
Yeah.
from that angle now.
I think for the most part, like you're only canceled if you allow to be canceled. You know,
100%.
you only burn
Yeah.
the bridge if you allow it to be burned. So it's like if the fact that he came and apologized, like no matter how much time or little time there is in between that,
Yeah.
it just shows a level of maturity that like nobody can really not respect.
Yeah,
you know?
for sure.
Yeah.
And that's really cool that he did that.
Yeah,
that's
for
a really
sure.
cool story.
Yeah. Damn.
He seems like a genuine dude. I got a
Yeah.
good story about 8 years ago. I met a celebrity. Well, I didn't really meet him, but I was working at a restaurant, and my little brother worked with me at this restaurant too, and in West Palm Beach. And Kat Von D and Steve-O come in and sit down at the restaurant.
Oh, snap.
And they don't let me take the table. They like gave it to like the vet who the waiter. But anyway, at the end, like my little brother was so
You're not
excited.
qualified.
Let me just say, hold on. Let me just
say.
say this. They're not sitting at this fucking table right now.
Yeah. Where's that guy?
But for my little brother, he was not going to go up to Steve-O, so they're leaving, and I'm like, I'm doing it for my little bro. So I run up to Steve-O, and I'm like, Steve-O, can my little brother please get a photo with you? And so he was so cool. He was like, absolutely. It was at an art museum, like, restaurant. And he's like, absolutely, man. Like, let's do it.
Oh,
and
you
then,
sound just like him, too.
I know.
Whoa.
I just pictured Steve-O saying that, not
like
even you.
Yeah, man.
Jesse is the king of impersonations, it seems.
And he was so cool. He was so cool, man.
He seems like a cool fucking dude.
He
man.
does.
I mean,
especially now.
Yeah, yeah.
His mindset now is insane.
Yeah, and he's like,
and he's still crazy.
and him and Bam Margera, I don't know if their beef is on purpose or like it's for publicity.
I really do think that
That
he
Bam
kind of
shit.
spiraled.
I think Bam's in a bad place.
Yeah.
And I think Steve-O was trying to help him or whatever.
Oh,
but
for sure.
A lot of it seems
all were.
staged, though. A lot of their
I think
beef.
Steve-O is kind of like in the same place of like, it's like hearing from Mike Tyson.
Yeah.
Like, you know, he's like so like just chilled out after being so wild for 30
dude.
years.
Yeah.
It's like,
Mike Tyson's in shape, too. Like, he's training that
yeah.
new heavyweight.
Bro,
kid.
and he's heavy on the shroomies too lately, dude.
fuck yeah, he is.
I love it for him.
Yeah.
dude. I love that.
My buddy did shrooms for the first time like 2 weekends ago.
Oh,
and he's like,
man.
bro, if you punched me in the face right now, I don't even think I'd be mad. I'm so happy. I've never been high in my life, so I have no idea what that
Really?
feels
For
like.
you?
Yeah, never
Good
been
for
high
you.
before.
Good for you.
Never been high. I would like to get high one time.
I've been high
Let's-
since I was
let's do-
12.
I'm high right now.
You're high right
Yeah.
now.
I've been high since I was 12, man. So
Let's
I
do a
can't really-
high pod. Let's do like a shroom podcast.
I don't
We'll pull a
recommend
Joe
that.
Rogan.
Oh my
I
god.
don't recommend.
I don't
any of that.
recommend. I'll eat an edible and do a podcast.
I've done. I think I don't know if you have, but I've definitely performed on shrooms before.
I have like 10 years ago at a casino. It was wild.
I
It's
don't,
good times.
I don't know what to expect or whatever. But so everyone's always shocked about how Tonka became my name. So how'd you get Buster?
First off, how'd you get Tonka?
Yeah,
All right, do you want to hear my story first?
Yes, yes.
All right, so I told it a couple of times, but so I was a breakdancer before I was a DJ,
What?
before I
Did
was
we
anything.
talk about this?
No,
I'm
it-
searching this on YouTube.
yeah. So I was on Jimmy Fallon and everything, late night with Jimmy
Oh,
Fallon.
I knew about this. I've seen this.
Yeah, yeah. So it was. I didn't do any really breakdancing. It's a long story. I'll show you guys
Like
the
a
video.
shiny
but-
suit on though.
my
I think.
God.
yeah, I had a puffy vest on. I had a mohawk.
Oh, that's what it was.
Yeah, yeah. It was a crazy time in my life. But I was a breakdancer coming out of high school. From I was 18. I'm 39 now, so you can do the math. But I was a breakdancer from senior year of high school till I was about 23. And we used to go to Shampoo, which is a nightclub used to be here in
R.I.P..
Philly. Yeah, R.I.P. man. Phone parties. They had a breakdancing room there.
Damn.
It was a little alley room. It was really small. And I kept falling out of this move. And people were like, man, it looks like it hurts. I was like, nah, man. And then I did it again. They were like, you definitely broke your arm. I was like, nah, I'm good. They're like, you're indestructible, like a Tonka truck. And it just stuck. So since I was 18 years
way.
old, I've been Tonka.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's
I
not
like
bad,
it.
right?
So
it's not a bad story.
is it
Tonka
weird
truck.
when you get called Tonka from random people?
To be honest, a lot of people don't even know my real name's Eric. That's how many like people call me Tonka. Like,
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
when I changed my DJ name for like 2-3 years to Eric Vanderslice. This is back when like David Guetta just went by David Guetta, and then you had Alesso.
yep,
Like
yep.
all the house DJs were popular. The management guys that were managing me at the time, they were like, you should switch your name to Eric Vanderslice. It sounds like you're a house DJ, and like I can get you more money. Blah 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 blah. I'm like, sure, I don't care. So I changed it. I got booked in Vegas at a hip hop club, and they were like, I'm not putting Eric Vanderslice on a flyer. So my buddy that booked me out there was like, would you put the name Tonka on a flyer? He's like, fuck yeah, I would definitely do that. Change my name back to Tonka when I got back.
Never
go.
look
Yeah.
back again.
I love it.
Yeah, it's not a bad name, right?
I like it because it's cartoony. That's kind of the same shit of what I was going for with Buster.
Okay.
You know, like Buster. I used to have a name that my old boss gave me, which was Noise. I fucking hated it. Like,
I can't call someone Noise.
Yeah, exactly.
That
And
sounds bad.
That's not nice.
noise
not
with a
nice.
Z, by the way. And so
That's pretty cool.
Jesus.
then.
But I just wanted to work for this dude so bad that when he said, he's like, you make a lot of noise. And I was like, all right, fucking whatever. So I went with it, but then that was in Detroit. But when I got the opportunity to move to New York and change my name, I knew I was ditching Noise. And so my buddy was also changing his name. So we were kind of both on the hunt for something that was like cartoony and like, you know, something that like we pictured listeners calling in and like saying our name, and like something that would cut through, and like
Yeah.
if you were in a loud club, you could say it, or you could put it on a flyer like
Yeah.
you're talking about. And so he went with Chunky, because he was a big boy.
He used to be on the radio here.
Yeah,
right?
he was on Wired. Yep.
Yeah.
And so he went by Chunky, and then I went. I was like, what was the name of that little bunny on Tiny Toons? I was looking at cartoon characters in general, and then I was like, oh, wait a minute, what was Tiny Toons? What were those characters' names? And I was like, Buster Bunny, and I was like, Buster's kind of a cool thing.
Yeah.
And I thought it was like, it's like self-deprecating, like it's like it says a little bit before I say anything.
Yeah.
It
for
says
sure.
a little like
It's like in your face.
well, or it's like something a girl would call her dog. So it's like, how mad are you going to be at a guy named Buster? Like, it gives me a little bit of license to say some shit because it's like, all right, well, what is the New York Times going to write? Buster said. No, I don't give a fuck what I say.
So, you just pretty much answered all my other questions with that. But so, what's your government name?
Brandon Scott.
So it has nothing to do. Well, actually, the B's still there.
yeah.
The B's still there.
That's a good like actor
Brandon
name.
Buster Scott.
Yeah.
That's pretty
That
good.
actually kind of sounds like it's a legal name. I like it. I like it. So does anybody call you Brandon? Your girlfriend? Maybe?
Yeah. Like my family does. You know, like the people who probably should.
Yeah.
You know, I'm sure just like your shit, like it's funny when sometimes people hit you with that like real name because they're trying to like, you know, like be like know you on another level or whatever.
Well, I call DJs their government name just to be a dick.
Oh, I like that too.
Yeah.
Just to bring them down a peg.
Yeah, so like I see Ghost. I see Ghost out in public. I'm like, Joshua, how are you?
Yeah.
Because nobody knows his name is Joshua.
Yeah, that's
right. It's because he doesn't look like a Josh.
Yeah.
He looks like a
Meats gets so pissed if you call him Corey.
Corey. That's a cool name though. Like when I was named, like my government name is actually when I was born. My legal name was Evan Eric Vanderslice.
Evan.
This is how G my dad is. My dad is an OG, right? He was filling out the paperwork. He's like, this doesn't sound right. He changed it. Didn't tell my mom until they got the paperwork in the mail. And back then in '83, mail took a little bit. Like she was calling me Evan for like the first like month of my life.
Wow.
He never told her. That's how big of a G my dad is.
Wow.
When people ask how big is a G my dad is, he lied to my mom for a month about my name.
That's my boy. I'm the only one here that goes by my actual first name. Like even you're Dominic. And you go by Dom.
I mean,
well, that's a nickname.
Still
that's
like
a nickname.
But still,
That's still my
I'm
name.
not Jess.
Dude, interesting.
I'm not Jess. I'm
interesting,
Jesse.
Yeah, but like interesting story how like we came up with our names. You know what I mean? We both grew up in very interesting areas. And,
Right.
We have such a cool story, and then we got together 5 years ago, and we were like, "My name's Dom, and your name's Jesse, so like we should do that."
Right.
Well, that just makes sense. Dominic and Jesse is too much.
Dominic and Jesse.
It sounds like a lawyer, like a lawyer firm.
I wish we had like a. We definitely had a moment where we tried to come up with names. And
Did
we
you have a
wanted to
slip and
like,
fall
a
at
cool-
work? Call Dom and Jesse.
We wanted to have something
You should
crazy.
do a promo like that. You should do a promo. You have a slip and fall.
Dominic and Jesse.
Come out to Wicked Wolf and listen to us play. All your troubles will go away.
That's good. Make a note of that.
Oh,
Yeah.
dude, you got to
a
do
note
it.
of that.
You got to do it.
Yeah.
Oh,
man.
I'll produce it. I'll record you on my iPhone.
Let's do that.
I wish I remembered the names that we like came up with at first.
We didn't.
And Dom and Jesse
we
was
did?
a placeholder. Yeah.
No way.
Dom and
Well, it's
Jesse was a
like-
placeholder, and it just stuck.
Bex and Buster, like we sort of toyed with ideas of like maybe a show name or
Yeah.
Right.
and we were like we didn't even want the Bex and Buster show. We just wanted to your guys' point, we just wanted Bex and Buster.
Yeah.
So it actually flows really well too.
Yeah.
I mean, so it's not.
It's a fun little combo.
They both
name.
have B's. It's just like it's the
Yeah.
same syllable, so it's just like it
As-
just sounds good.
As the other secondary in a duo in the name, I think Buster and Bex could work. You know,
Well,
hashtag.
to be honest with you, you gotta remember like
The lady always goes first.
yeah, like listen, I'm
Sorry, Dom.
Oh, sorry. In this scenario,
No, tell him.
I
Humble
had so
him.
much fun on this
You need to be
podcast.
humble. Dominic needs to be
I
humble.
meant when there's a woman involved, so I apologize.
I love
like-
that Tonka. I love that.
with Bex and I, it was like Bex and I have known each other for like 12 years now, and it was kind of easy to do that because it just sounded right.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
Just like Dom and Jesse. I get it.
Oh wait, it kind of still works. The one with less letters goes
Yeah.
first.
Well, and it's
Kinda feels like
alphabetical too.
Oh,
Yeah.
Beck's.
But
Buff,
no, I do think it is. I think it's less syllables. I think
Yeah.
that there's a ring to it.
Tom
Yeah.
and Jerry.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yep.
Yep.
Ben and
Yep.
Jerry.
See, there's a
Ben and
there's a
Jerry,
reason, not just
yeah.
because there's a woman
Yeah.
involved. There's a reason.
2023, baby.
Yeah, right. So, what are some of the names that you like were thinking about, but you ditched them? You were like, besides Noise, was there any ones that you ditched? They were like, was there like a
For
runner-up?
you. When I
for
was
Buster?
in, so I did radio for a year in Fresno, California, when I was
Okay.
like 20 years old, and it was a wild ride. But when we went out there, they called all of us where we were from. So for a year of my life, everybody I knew called me Detroit. I had nobody around me because I had no friends or family that knew me
Wow, yeah.
outside of that. So literally everybody in my life called me Detroit for a year out of nowhere.
Whoa.
And then
Yikes.
never again.
Great.
It just like literally fell off
Well,
just out of
the
nowhere.
station, we got bought out and like everybody
Okay.
left and whatever. But like it's a weird thing that for a year in my life, everyone called me one name and then I never got called that name again.
How old are you now?
37.
37. So that was 17 years ago.
Yeah. God damn, bro.
Sorry,
Yo.
my bad.
Yeah, for real.
I'll be 40 in 2 months. So
Dude, the big 4-0.
I know.
That's awesome, man.
If you guys want to come to the party, you got to talk to Griselle.
Yeah,
She's
let's-
going to put some parties.
Ooh,
put a
okay.
big party for
Let's
me.
trash
We
the
would
place.
love
Yeah,
Yeah, dude.
let's trash
Hell
it.
yeah.
I always wanted to have a
I'm
food
down.
fight.
Yo.
Do you ever have a food fight in school?
No.
Nah, not like a real one. You know, kids would fucking throw shit.
Yeah.
A lot of asshole kids in my
Yeah.
school.
Same.
What kind of food though? Like chicken wings could get pretty dangerous.
Maybe just like ice cream.
And nobody was fucking up chicken wings, bro. We were
Yeah.
throwing grapes.
Yo, I had
Grapes are
some
a good one.
sick lunches in high school though. We had like Domino's pizza every Monday, Wednesday,
What?
Friday.
Oh hell yeah!
Yeah, we had the
Cookies.
chicken fries. It was so.
You had actual.
and we had
What?
slushies.
What
Like
kind of
actual
school?
companies bringing in
This
food?
is like those
Yeah.
high schools you see on TikTok.
Yeah, we
What
had one of
the-
those. We had slushy machines, like slush puppies. We had those.
Wow.
Yeah, I had 2 lunches.
This kid grows up with like quads and a fucking basketball court, hockey court.
my
like,
We thought it was a
going
big
to
deal when they
school,
brought in
like,
churros. in
Yeah,
my school.
no, we had chicken
Dude.
fries. We had pizza every day. It was great. It was a great
Wow.
lunch. Yeah. But
Damn.
I guess that's why we never had food fights. Who's going to throw a slice of
Yeah,
pizza?
everybody wanted to
Shit was
eat
too
it.
good.
Ain't no throwing no good ass slush
Yeah,
puppy.
slush puppies were
Oh
good.
man, that would get dirty.
But
Man,
yeah, I remember those cafeteria school lunches. Those were always good. We had
Yeah.
the Mexican pizza. That shit was fire.
Yeah,
Mexican pizzas.
All right, so let's go down this road. What is the school lunch that you were looking forward to having and you saw it on the menu?
Bro. Mexican pizza was up there, man.
Yeah, what's a Mexican pizza?
what,
well,
what does
like-
that look like?
Well, I don't know
does that look
what
like?
a
It's
Mexican pizza is
Pizza
supposed
with
to
a
be.
mustache.
Yeah.
That's sombrero.
Hey,
I'm
have
sorry.
a fucking pizza, man.
I think that was Italian, Buster.
No, that was his
No, was
Cheech
it?
and Chong impression.
So, Mexican pizza in our school versus like what the Taco Bell Mexican pizza is.
Yeah, facts.
Is it was just a straight up pizza bread that would have taco stuff on it.
Okay, so
Was it like stop sign shaped almost? That's what ours
I mean, it was pizza shaped.
Oh yeah, it was pizza. Ours was like it looked like a stop sign, like it was shaped like that.
oh, so
like
they
an
cut off the
octagon.
corners?
I
And
don't- it was weird.
They just cut off certain things to make it look like a stop sign?
I think it was like frozen. They would just heat it up, but it was Mexican pizza. It had, like-
Oh, I think I know what you're talking about.
yeah, I could
'cause-
probably Google
It's like a
it.
tombstone
Yeah,
joint.
I think it was the same. Yes, it is like a tombstone
Yeah.
sort of thing.
Yeah.
No real crust.
So
just
Mexican
sort of-
pizza was your go-to when you saw
I don't
it
know.
on the
That's
menu.
when you ask that question. That's one of the things I think that come to mind. What
Yeah.
about you guys?
Yeah, it slapped. Mexican pizza slapped. We had Domino's at our
What
our
the
school.
fuck?
Yeah, what is going on here?
But you had to pay for it, and like I didn't want to pay for Domino's every day. But the cookies,
We had
like,
to pay for our bullshit.
we had to pay
Yeah.
for all of our shit.
Yeah, so
None
I had
of
to
our
pay.
shit was
I had a
free.
lunch card. I didn't pay for anything.
What
yeah,
the
well, no, I mean I was
Wait, were you poor?
Yeah, I was poor.
I was poor. Yeah, I was
my dad had enough money to buy our house and our pool. That was about it.
in the quads. And
Yeah,
that's
my
it.
dad spent all our money on toys.
Shout out Tonka's dad.
Let's go, Dad.
He's like, I want to make sure you guys are
Oh,
set.
man.
You guys all have all your toys, but guess what? You're getting a
Free
lunch
lunch.
card.
See,
Yeah.
I was jealous of you motherfuckers because I was poor too. I just didn't we didn't sign up for the poor people shit.
Yeah, you got to sign up for the poor people
I
stuff.
know. I would try and get it.
Yeah.
'Cause my parents would give me $1.
So I can't.
Yo,
I can't
yes.
really.
And
I
the
can't
poor
really
people
say.
shit.
I can't. I guess I could legal. I guess I can't get in trouble. I don't know. So my dad was technically retired, but he had a side hustle.
Or your
His
friend's
house-
dad. You mean your friend's dad?
Yeah,
Wink,
my
wink.
my dad had a side hustle where he didn't need a job.
Wow.
Okay,
Nice.
so he was retired but had a side hustle that he didn't need a job. That's why I had all the
Allegedly.
fancy stuff.
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
Yeah, that's what he told you going on.
He ran numbers. My dad was the lottery. No one was allowed in my house between 5 and 6:30 every day.
Oh my God.
I'm not even playing. There was a competition, like one of those books with all like the black and white composition books, right?
Yeah.
Oh,
You know what I'm talking about?
yeah,
There was
yeah.
one of those under the phone. So put it that way. No one was allowed in the house.
Wow.
From 5 to 6:30
Wow.
every day.
Hustle.
out Tonka's
Hustle, baby.
dad.
My dad was a hustler, man.
Hell
he
yeah.
he still is. 93, 92, still a hustler.
Holy.
Oh yeah, you said that the other day.
Yeah, you were shocked. You were like, what?
That is mind blowing.
We
he's
thought 76
kicking.
was old. My dad is. He was with us. He was with me at my park.
He was like, he was like, my dad's like 93. I was like, he graduated 93?
I wish. Yeah, he's getting up there. God bless him, man. But
That's
what
awesome.
about you for lunch? School lunch?
Dude, popcorn chicken wraps.
God damn, we didn't have that shit either.
And like that was like the holy grail. It didn't really come around often, but when it did, it was like popcorn chicken, and they would just smother it in ranch and lettuce, and I forgot what else was in it.
You're
But
making me-
oh
make me
my
hungry.
God, dude, that was like the big hit. in
You guys
school
ever have a walking taco?
time. No.
Say
Is
what
that like
is.
like a Doritos bag?
Thank you.
Yes, dude.
Oh, that sounds delicious.
Oh, I know
actually.
what you're talking
It'd be like
about.
a Doritos
Yes,
or a
yes,
Fritos
yes. I know
bag.
what
You
you're
get to
talking
pick, and then they'd put all the taco bullshit in there, and then you
you
just
just
eat
Oh,
like a
that
bowl.
sounds delicious.
Yes.
Do they have those here?
I know. Wicked Wolf.
Wicked Wolf.
Wicked tacos.
Walking tacos. The meatball sandwich here
Yo,
slaps.
wicked
Really?
walking tacos.
Wicked walking tacos. Honestly, who's not walking around here eating a taco?
Yeah.
Walking taco.
People would love it.
The food here at Wicked Wolf is actually really, really good.
It's fire.
Their
dude, the
meatball
burgers
sandwich
are
is
great.
good.
The
Yeah,
burgers are
burgers are
great,
good.
too.
Chicken wings are good.
Yeah.
I think that's where a lot of people don't focus on, right? You should
Yes.
focus entertainment one, food second, and
Yes.
drinks third.
Yes.
Right?
Can we talk about like venues around the city with good food? Can we?
Yeah, let's do it. Let's do
it.
it. Yeah, we got a
Dude.
couple minutes before you guys perform.
We just played at Vinyl, one of our
yeah,
favorite.
I need
one
to
of our
check this
one
Do
of
they
our
have any
favorite places in the
Applebee's
city
stuff
now.
on the menu?
It was all apple. So it was
No,
all
I was
leftover from
disappointed.
Applebee's.
Very disappointed.
Their boneless wings slap. So.
No, but dude, their food was like immaculate. Like
What,
it was,
Vinyl is it?
Yeah, it was impressive.
I've never been there.
It was really good.
I was only in there one time because my college was around the corner. I went there once for lunch when it was Applebee's.
Yeah.
So that's why I made the Applebee's joke.
Yeah. No, Applebee's is great.
Yeah.
But
No,
there's-
it's
they-
fucking not. Applebee's sucks. You guys ever go to that shit recently?
No,
I'm more of a
recently.
TGI Friday
Dude.
guy.
All right. So I went to Applebee's for the first time like 3 months ago.
First time ever?
No, for the first time in like
Oh,
20
okay.
years.
Oh, damn.
All right.
Damn.
And I go into this place, me and my girl, and we were hungover, and we're like, let's just get they can't fuck up the appetizer sampler, right?
oh, yes.
Yes, they can. That shit was so bad. So bad to the point where we each took a couple bites, couldn't do it. We faked an emergency to our server. We said, I'm so sorry. I just got a call. I have to get out of here. And she was like, this sweet girl. She was like, oh my God. Oh, no. And she was like, let me get you this. Let me run. I was like, no, it's okay. It's okay. It's okay. We just have to get out of here like right now. So if you could just get the shit. And we got the fuck out of there. Fuck Applebee's.
Straight up. No, and
Damn.
you might as well like go home and air fry some shit.
Yeah,
you know
at
what I
that
mean?
point, yeah.
Probably
Yeah,
be. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So Vinyl's
Damn.
your number one spot?
I think Vinyl or like we did Brewery Town Food Hall. We played there for a stint, and like I swear to you, like there was stuff in those fries that like was not legal because oh my
They're
God,
so good, yeah.
They were
What
so
makes them so
addicting.
good? Were they seasoned?
I don't know.
I know what it is. I'll tell you. It's the 3 T's. I learned this: taste, temperature, and texture. And they had all
Ooh.
3.
Wow,
Solid.
that's actually a good way to break something down.
Yeah,
Wow.
food, taste, temperature, and texture.
I mean, you could
3
just say it
T's,
was
baby.
good as shit.
I
The
don't
3
know.
T's, baby.
The 3 T's because Tonka
3
starts
T's.
with a T.
It had to
Okay,
put together.
you had a 4th T in there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
I
saying?
don't know what for you guys. Like, what are some of your favorite spots, like venues that do food as well? Because restaurants don't count.
Okay, so bars that do food.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be honest. Like, I'm a big wing guy, right? So I love wings.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if I told this on the podcast or not before. I did a Buffalo Wild Wings hottest wings challenge before.
Yes.
So I can't walk in there anymore without getting violently ill.
By the way,
But
I love Buffalo Wild Wings, but
yeah, so like I can't walk in there without my stomach being like, "Ooh, you're at Buffalo Wild Wings. Just go sit in the bathroom."
It's got
Yeah.
PTSD.
It literally does. So I'm a big wing guy. So JD McGillicuddy's in Manayunk. I feel like
Banger.
literally,
Really?
like
Banger.
no one would think they have the best wings in Manayunk. They do.
Yeah, they do.
They have.
I
like,
agree with that.
Yeah, they have like 12 different sauces to pick from. It's
Yeah.
great, and some of them
Wait,
are
is
homemade.
McGillicuddy's the one that's on the corner?
Yeah, it's
like
on-
that one-way street.
Yep.
Yeah.
I had, and you go into there's like a bar here, then you can go upstairs, and
Yes.
it's like a small area.
Yes.
Yep,
Bro,
there's 3
all their
floors.
food is incredible.
Yeah,
their food is
All
really
their
good.
food is incredible,
Yep.
and yes, the wings are amazing.
Yep, I used to go there on what Nugget does Nugget Bingo on Wednesdays now.
Dude,
that's
yes. He's doing it tonight.
That's
Do you
right,
remember?
dude.
Do you remember Bourbon Blue in Manayunk?
Yes,
Can
dude.
yeah,
Bourbon,
another one.
All right, pour one out for Bourbon Blue.
Yeah, man.
That shit one was so good. I would say
COVID killer, man. COVID killed him.
COVID put it
really?
out.
COVID
Yeah.
put it out?
Yeah.
Shout out Brendan, whatever his name was, the because he owns some other shit around here. And what was I had an answer for your question too. Shit. Oh, I gotta be honest. Recently, because I moved out to the suburbs, out in Havertown, there's some good bangers out there too.
Really?
Yeah, there's this bar called Westgate. They got a chicken
never heard of that
fajita wrap. There's also a Brick and Brew that's got some cool shit too.
I love that name.
Yeah,
That's
hell
why I think a lot of places miss the mark with the name. You got to really name your place.
Yeah,
That's-
like
that's-
Tonka's.
Yeah, Tonka's place. Well, that's why Talkin with Tonka I felt worked. So
I
kinda-
agree.
yeah,
I
it's a
agree.
great
I mean,
name.
Works
look,
a lot
in that-
better than Tonka's place.
Yeah, a lot better than Tonka's place.
It's like, come on, kids, come to Tonka's place.
You guys want some candy?
Yeah, I think like in radio, I'm a sucker for the alliteration. So
Okay.
when I saw the Tonka with Tonka show, I was like,
He's on to something
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
That guy's he's on to something. He's going places.
What about you? You got a place in Philly? If you got to pick one place to
Best
eat.
wings I've had in Philly, and I haven't had any of these
Well,
places.
it doesn't have
you
to be
mentioned.
wings. I'm a wing guy, so
Oh, gotcha.
That's why it was wings for me.
I'll eat like week old leftovers and be happy. Like so,
See, I
I'm
can't do
I'm so
it.
easy to please.
I can't
But
do that either.
best as far as wings, Manayunk Brewer. What is it? Manayunk
Brew Pub?
Brew pub.
Manayunk
Manayunk
Brewery.
Brewery.
Used to play there.
Manayunk Brewery.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Manayunk Brewery.
Yeah,
They had
yeah.
these mahogany wings that were so. Remember those?
They have good
They
sushi
were
too.
so
Yeah,
good.
they have
They
a
do have
sushi chef on duty all the time.
Yes,
Oh, that's
they do.
right.
Yeah, they have brick oven
Yep.
pizza.
Yep.
A lot of people don't know that. They have
Yeah.
slamming pizza. I used to DJ there back before, I'm not dieting right now, but when I was on a diet, they would always have pizza at the end of the night. And I was like, this is great. I get DJ, I get pizza. This is awesome.
There's this fireplace I go to all the time, and I swear to God, I don't know if a lot of people know about it, but I eat there all the time. It's like this mom and pop place,
here we
or
go.
it's
Oh my
it's called
God.
Wawa, and I literally
Wow,
like
I'm
the menu
surprised
is
you didn't
fire.
say. I'm surprised you didn't say Chipotle, dude.
Oh no, Wawa. It's local, I think. Have you heard of Wawa?
No.
Bro, I
Is
heard
that
it's.
new?
I heard it's about to not be local.
Yeah,
Is that
I mean,
true?
It's not been
There-
local now.
Yeah,
for a
there's
while.
one in Florida
Yeah.
now.
There's a
Yeah.
bunch in
No, I'm
Florida.
They have
saying I heard
drive-thrus,
they're slowly taking them out of Philly.
Oh well, yeah. Nobody
Wait,
wants
what?
to fucking have anything in the hood anymore.
Right,
Oh my God. Oh yeah, you gotta order like everything from the screen
bro.
now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's how bad the.
Well, even in Center City,
That's why the Philadelphia police commissioner is giving up her
Yo.
job because she
Hell
sucks.
yeah, she
Damn,
sucks.
dude.
I went to
terrible.
UArts and
Can't
down
take
on
it.
South Broad. They had to close it down because there was
Dude.
so much violence.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
Gotham
It's-
out here. It's
Yeah.
a war
Straight
zone.
up.
It really is.
Gotham City.
It really is.
It
We're in the
really
heart
is.
of it right now.
Yeah.
Thank God it's still daylight.
So no, it's fucking.
Oh
not.
no, God, the sun went down. We got to go home. Oh no,
Yo.
Batman.
Who's Batman? If this
Yeah.
is Gotham, who's Batman?
That's
here?
Buster. He's the closest
No,
one in
it's
the
the
game.
Philly captain.
Yeah, the Philly captain.
No, it's Dunphy.
Yeah, I gotta have the Philly captain on because he's the one that literally turned Trey Turner back around.
Yes, he did.
Single-handedly. This man.
I told Trey Turner,
You sound like oh my
I
God.
told everyone we need to give him love.
Yeah, so he made a viral video saying, everybody, don't boo him. Give him a standing ovation every
Oh, I
at
saw
bat.
that. I saw that. I saw
he
that.
did.
That game, he hit a 2-run bomb.
Yep.
That game. He's like, and he put a billboard out for Philadelphia. He said, "Thank you, Philly."
Wow.
Yeah, dude.
I remember
Should have said thank
hearing
you,
about
Philly
this.
captain.
Yeah, Philly captain. Yeah, that was
Wow.
so funny. I met him with you. You
Yeah,
came to
he's-
see me at the Phils,
He's the man.
and yeah, I met him. I was like,
Bro,
dude,
that's honestly, man. Like this is our story too, right? All we want to do is just spread positivity, and you see how much further that goes.
Oh, dude.
You know what I mean? Like, no matter what, just support. Just support. Even if
Yeah.
there's someone that's being a dick to you, support them.
Yeah.
Support them because you never know. You
Never.
never know what they can do for you.
and you know what's funny? I think a lot of people do support for the wrong reasons.
Yes.
Right. So I support my friends. Support people I just met you guys, and I'm a big supporter of you guys. So I
Thank
love
you.
what you're doing. You're
Thank you.
everybody's so
Same, man.
positive.
Thank you.
Fucking love that, man. And it's like I don't do anything to get anything back.
Yeah.
Like I do it because
Unconditional love.
I just love helping people.
Yeah.
And like spreading love. Yeah. Because like I think I told this on your you guys were on my podcast as guests, not as co-hosts, which I'm definitely doing again because you guys are great. I was saying in the beginning of my career, I was like I'm doing a lot of cool shit that I shouldn't have been doing yet. Right, because I didn't put my time in.
Yeah.
So I got a little bit of an ego. And then I was checked, and I never went back. I was like, fuck that. I was like,
Good
that's
that you
not
learned
me.
that lesson.
I learned a lesson early.
Yeah.
And I see a lot of people go down that road already.
Yeah.
And I pull them to the side. I'm like, listen, man, I see where you're going. I love what you're doing, but let's have a conversation. Let me
Yes.
tell you what Uncle Tonka went through.
Yes.
That's a
Yes,
story.
yes,
That's a
yes.
story we got to hear sometime.
Yeah,
like how
it's
that
terrible.
100%.
I ruined some relationships, and
Whoa.
it was bad, and I'm still not friends with those people. Yeah,
Whoa.
because I was a dick. Yep.
We all have stories like
Uncle
that.
Tonka.
man.
Yeah, that's what
I
my whole
like
shore
that.
house called me because I was the guy that had to check everybody. So I was the oldest one. And then when someone messed up or did something wrong, Uncle Tonka's in the chat. Uncle Tonka has entered the chat. So we don't have a ton of time because you guys got to perform.
Yes.
Hey.
I can't wait.
Yes.
Yeah, man.
But I just want to. So a lot of people that are listening right now, they want to know the timeline of Buster, right? So you started in Detroit. If you can give us a quick timeline of where you went, where you've been on the radio.
Yeah, totally. Detroit, Toledo, Ohio, Flint, Michigan, and then I got my first full. Those were all part-time gigs.
Yeah.
I started interning in Detroit. I did those 2 part-time gigs in Flint and Toledo. Then my first full-time gig was in Fresno, California. Did that for a year. I moved back to Detroit at 22. That same year, moved to New York. We